You lose when you don't show. Hey, my dear, I'm leadership development coach Kathy Archer and author of best-selling book, Mastering Confidence. I am so glad that you're joining me today for today's live session where we are talking about when you lose, you don't win. Let me try that again. You lose when you don't show. So we are going to go through some information about that today, but before we get there, I'm going to pop on over into my phone so that I can share this into my Confident Women Leaders group. If you are a woman leader who is struggling, who is lonely, who is lost, who is feeling like you need some support and direction, pop on over into the Confident Women Leaders group. There is a group of women leaders who are probably feeling similar to you do on some days, and we're all supporting each other together. So pop on over there. The link is in the notes, and I'm going to pop on over here. While you're waiting for me to do this, please make a note in the chat box about where you are calling in from, or watching from, I guess I should say. Share to a page, to a group. Don't you love Facebook? Confident Women Leaders group. We can do just about anything we want these days with good old Facebook. And I am not shutting the data off today. I have it off of my Wi-Fi because I am expecting my third grandbaby and I'm waiting for the phone to ring. So if I drop off halfway through this, that's perhaps what happened. But I'm sure we'll make it through. So we are talking about the fact that when you don't show up, that you lose. And I wanted to do this today because I've been doing a 5-day challenge this week. I'm running the Mastering Confidence Intensive right now. I have Blueprint for Change opening up next week. I do these lives every week. And I have people that sign up for things, register for things, and don't show up. And then they come back again and do something else, or they bring up the same issue or challenge. I have people that I coach. You know people in your life, you may be one of them, who you want changes, but you're not finding that things are changing. You're finding that actually you're still stuck where you're at. And here's the thing. You lose when you don't show. So let me talk about what showing means first. I have lots of notes today because I've been doing several things from the 5-day challenge and this and a webinar tomorrow. And so I wanted to make sure that I was on track. So I have lots of notes. When I was a leader back in the day, we ran the program that I supervised. We did visits with families. So we would go to a family's home and we would visit them and help them with their parenting. We were working with families that were often apprehended by child welfare. The kids had been apprehended by child welfare, or there was a risk of the children being apprehended. And so I used to go out and visit, and then the staff that I supervised used to go and visit. And I can't tell you how many times the family wasn't home, or they were supposed to come to the office and visit and they didn't show up. Or we were scheduled to do a supervised visit where the kids had been apprehended. We were in our office, we brought the kids, we're bringing the parents in, and the parents didn't show up. We used to track what we called no-shows. And what no-shows indicated was a lack of commitment from the parents, that they weren't committed to getting their children back, they weren't committed to changing their parenting skills. And so we didn't invest as much energy and time and work into those families that no-showed all of the time because they weren't demonstrating that they wanted it. So what does a no-show mean for you? Well, a no-show means for you, maybe you come to these live sessions, but you only watch half of it, or you never go get the guide sheet, or you registered for the 5-day challenge, but you didn't do it, or you did one day and then you dropped off. I have people that have signed up for my courses, paid money for the courses, and never show up in the courses. I have people that have paid for coaching and don't come to coaching. I have people that have bought the book and have Mastering Confidence and have not read the book. I have people that have signed up for the free program in Mastering Confidence, free online program, videos, worksheets, haven't got past the first one. That's what no-show means. When you And I'm not just talking about my programs. You borrow books from the library, or a friend gives you a book, or you sign up to go to the Zumba class, or you get a gym membership, or you mean to start that exercise plan or that diet plan, or you don't show up in your marriage, or you don't show up as a parent. All of those things is what I'm talking about. When you mean to do something, you have good intentions, but you don't follow through. That's no showing. And what happens is when you don't show up, you lose. What do I mean by lose? You stay stuck in that rut. You stay stuck in survival mode. You are constantly feeling irritated, annoyed, frustrated with your life. You are suffering, right? That's what happens when you don't show. When you don't show up, you continue to stay where you're at. The truth is, nothing changes in your life until you do the work and make the changes. Nothing. You're not going to lose weight. Your marriage isn't going to get better. You're not going to get happier in your organization. You're not going to develop new skills until you do something, right? You have to take that step to do something. So what I'm talking about, and when I'm talking about those steps, is you need to read something, attend something, do the worksheet, make the phone call, pay the money, and then go to whatever it is you paid money for. That's what I mean when I'm talking about do the work. And you've heard me say that a million times. I do these Facebook Lives every week, and every week I have a guide sheet, and there's a special bonus one today that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. So stick around till closer to the end, because I'm going to tell you about the special guide sheet this time around. But I give this all to you. But if you don't go get that guide sheet, if you don't sign up for the course, if you don't go have the conversation with your staff, nothing changes. When I say do the work, sometimes I'm talking about going back to that inner guidance cycle that I've been talking about. Pause, ponder, pivot, proceed, where you have to step back and take that deep breath, go to the washroom, take an hour, take 2 minutes, whatever it is, pause, ponder about what's going on, reflect on what's going on in my body. My stomach is tight. I feel this tightness in my chest. My shoulders are, up to my ears. I have these thoughts going on in my head about, I want to kill that person. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling anxious, irritated, embarrassed, right? So pause, ponder, and then do that pivot around. What will move me forward from this place that I'm at? What will take me to that next step? And then proceed back into action. So that might be what you need to do when I say do the work. But remember, nothing changes until you do the work. And so if you don't show up to do the work, you're the one who's losing. You're the one who's going to stay in that survival mode, and you're going to get stuck. So I wanted to talk today about 3 steps that you can do to get you back into motion and to do the work. 3 strategies to get you committing, to showing up, and to doing the work. First one is committing. If you are going to do the work and get the work done, what the strategy is to make sure that you do that work is to write it down. If you don't write it down, chances are it's not going to happen. The science has shown again and again, even if you don't come back to it, although coming back to it makes it more effective, if you even don't come back to it, but you write it down, you are way more inclined to meet goals when you actually write them down. Whether that's writing them down in the back of an envelope or a napkin or in your journal or in your day timer or on the whiteboard on the wall, wherever you write it down, the act of writing it down helps you commit to that. I am going to exercise 3 times a week. I'm committing to working through these chapters in this book. I'm committing to having lunch with a girlfriend once every 2 or 3 weeks. Whatever your commitment is, write it down. You are going to be much more successful at committing to showing up and to doing the work when you write it down. So make sure that you put pen to paper. It's more effective if you actually use a pen or a pencil than a computer. So think about that. You can write it down by typing it in. That's another way. But chances are you're going to be more effective when you write it down with a pen, pencil, Sharpie in my world, and you commit to it. That act puts it into your memory, puts it into your subconsciousness that you're going to do it. So that's the first strategy for committing, showing up, and doing the work. Second one, so that was committing. To commit, write it down. Showing up, set a reminder on your phone, on your watch, on your computer, whatever it is. We get busy. We get overwhelmed with stuff. And if we don't somehow have a system that helps to remind us that we're going to watch that Facebook Live with Kathy, do 5 minutes of reading, go to the fitness class at lunchtime. If we don't have that reminder, chances are we're probably not going to do that. There are a ton of ways, as I just said, that you can set a reminder. I have a Fitbit, and it has a little beeper that goes off every morning at 8:05 to remind me to do my 2-minute exercise that I do every morning at 8:05 to strengthen my back and my core. It's 2 minutes. It's called The Founder. If you want to Google it and you'll find it. And that's what I do every single morning. But I have a reminder that goes off of my Fitbit to remind me to do that. If it didn't, likely I would get busy in the morning and forget. There's reminders that pop up on Facebook to tell you when you've registered for a live event. There are reminders that you can set on your phone. You can have special apps that give you different reminders. I used to have an app on my phone that would bleep and bloink and make songs at every weird different time to remind me to breathe, to check in with what I was thinking, to step back and go for a little bit of a walk. So you can do all of those things. So 3 strategies to help you commit, show up, and do the work. First one is commit, write it down. Second one is show up. That's by setting a timer. Third one is do the work. So if you're going to commit to showing up and you want to actually do the work, here's the third strategy that's going to make it really, really effective for you. And that is check it off after you've done it on a calendar. When I wrote my book, I had a big wall calendar that was in my office. And every morning I would spend an hour writing my book or editing my book, whatever stage I was on. And after I was done, I took a red Sharpie and crossed off that day on the calendar. Once I started that process, there was no way that I didn't want to see a red X on that calendar. And that's really, really important to motivate you. So commit, write it down, literally write it down, pen to paper, show up, set a timer, whatever alarm or system is going to work for you to help remind you that you need to do something, do that piece, and then do the work. Make sure that you, after you've done it, that you check it off someplace, somehow, that you've done it. And the more visual you can make it, the more it's in your space where you're going to see it, there's a better chance that you're going to find that motivation to move forward. So those are the 3 strategies to committing, to showing up, to doing the work. Write it down, check it off, and set a timer. Write it down, set a timer, check it off. Want to know the 4th bonus strategy? This is where the guide sheet comes in today. So guide sheet, every week I do a guide sheet for you. This is guide sheet number 27. You can find the link in the notes. And this guide sheet is going to help you create your powerful vision. Here's the thing. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't have that vision, that big goal in mind, and it's maybe not today or tomorrow, it might be down the road, but if you haven't created that vision, then every time you hit a road bump, every time you hit a block, every time you stumble, it's going to be harder to get back up. But when you've crafted that powerful vision that you see and feel, it's going to pull you forward despite all of those bumps and humps that you're going to hit. Because let's face it, life is full of that. It's not easy to do this. And if you're going to do this, you need to have that powerful vision pull you forward. The truth is, where most of us get stuck is we hit what's called resistance, fear, doubt, procrastination, distraction, withdrawal. We know we want something, but we probably don't want it bad enough because we haven't crafted that vision. And when we don't want it bad enough, what happens is, it's not that you don't have time to do this. Trust me, there is time for you to do this. It's not that you don't have time. What you're lacking is the priorities in your time. What you're lacking is that Sorry, I just had a text. Not a text. Oh boy. Okay. What we're lacking is prioritizing our time. What we're lacking is, here's the thing. Many of us are scrolling through Facebook. Many of us are watching TV. We are doing things that are not sort of the things that we need to do. And so if you haven't prioritized exercising, if you haven't prioritized doing the work on a course that you're taking, or reading a book, or doing self-development, or spending time with your partner or your kids, if you haven't taken the time to create that as a priority, you're not going to move it forward. And when you don't prioritize that, it falls below the wayside. And so it's not that you don't have time to do it, it's that you haven't prioritized it. If you are spending any time in your day scrolling through Facebook or watching TV or any other mindless kind of activities that you're doing, then what you need to do is create a system that's going to help you move that forward. So the guide sheet today is called Creating a Powerful Vision. In today's guide sheet, what you are going to find is a one-page little summary about creating your powerful vision, but you're going to find, I think it's 12 pages more of the whole chapter in Mastering Confidence about creating your vision movie. So your vision movie takes a little word or two or three and creates a powerful vision. I think there are 4 exercises in there to do, so this is a big, gigantic one, but you got it for free today. So if you click to the link here, you'll find that it will take you to that guide sheet, and you can start creating your powerful vision. So remember, 3 strategies for committing, showing up, and doing the work. Write it down, pen to paper. Show up is setting a timer. Make sure you have a notification, and then do the work. Check it off after you've done. The bonus strategy is create your powerful vision movie. That's the guide sheet that you get today. If you go over to silverrivercoaching.com/guides, you will find it. It's number 27, but the link is in the notes here. And so I hope that you take this chapter out of here, create your powerful vision, because if you don't show up, nothing's going to change. You need to do the work to show up, and you need to show up to do the work so that you can make those changes necessary in your life. Thank you for watching, my dear. I hope that this has been helpful for you to start to look at what you need to do to create that powerful vision for you to move forward so that you can show up, do the work, create the changes in your life that you desire. Thanks for watching today. I will see you next week.